Okay, so this is how to make the perfect coconut yogurt. This is one of the most medicinal things that we can do in the modern world. Because as I've done more and more research and understand more and more the microbiome, it's all really a fresh science, but we can see that a lot of issues are arising from gut dysbiosis, and the list is long. And so I won't even get into all the individual names of all the individual diseases that are the result of inflammation in the gut, due to the result of pretty much everything being antibiotic. Not only the antibiotics, alcohol, fried oils, cooked foods, acrylamides, barbecued meat, the pesticides, the glyphosate, the GMOs, all leading to inflammation, gut dysbiosis. And we've already got a very much minimized microbiodiversity. Okay, so if you go to South America or Africa, and this is all part of the microbiome project, you'll see that they have much wider range of microbial diversity in the gut. And each progressive generation with more antibiotics, less natural foods, more pesticides, more medical care, cesarean section, formula fed, it's just the diversity. So you've really got to do what you can to enhance the gut flora that you've got. And the best thing that I know of for now that's been a blessing to me and many, many people that I know are probiotics. Now, of course, you know that I'm associated with PURADYME because, in my opinion, they have the highest integrity, the purest products. They third-party test every single batch. They don't have huge warehouses full of stock. They keep things coming in fresh. They run a real smart business, and I have a lot of respect for them over there. And they've been a real blessing to me. And this yogurt has been a real blessing to me and everyone who I've ever given it to. Let me show you the yogurt. Then I'm going to show you how to make perfect yogurt so that you can take billions of beneficial microorganisms, which are transient. The true biotics are transient as well. And you have to learn with prebiotics and proper food what's going to feed the most beneficial bacteria that you've got. Whether you were cesarean section, formula fed, breastfed, or you took 10 million antibiotics or got 5,000 vaccines, you know what I'm saying? So, and the best was, and always will be fresh, natural fruits, vegetables, leafy green herbs, and nuts and seeds. Those are the best foods to feed the microorganisms that you do have to create a real beneficial microbial activity, because the microbes in your gut, that's really what you feed. That's really what produces the hormones, the steroids, the neurotransmitters, vitamins via the gut, and breaks down even minerals to be absorbed as well into the bloodstream. So you've got to have healthy microbiome activity. These probiotics are just supportive because it's 5 strains, and there's some other good probiotics out there as well. Sometimes I think the formulas have too many probiotics. These are actually 5 very well studied strains, each with a different pH level, and actually arrange through the esophageal microbiome, the stomach, the small and large intestine. Each one of these different strains has a different pH and different benefits. And so what I do with this yogurt is I turn billions of these microorganisms, which you would take in like a pill form or something. You would get billions of them. I take it, I put it into coconut water and meat, and I turn these billions into trillions. And then you eat the yogurt, and that goes in, and that goes all in your mouth, and it neutralizes the bad bacteria in your mouth. It neutralizes the bad bacteria in your esophagus, It neutralizes excess acidity in the stomach and can help to alleviate gastrointestinal distress of all types. It will make its way into the small intestine because I'll put this on fruit, or I'll use this to make different kinds of salad dressings. And then when you eat it like that and you chew the food and you bring in the alkalinity from the saliva, it allows a lot more of the beneficial microorganisms from the different probiotic products. There are several that are decent, really decent on the market, that you can use to make this yogurt. I recommend this because this is what, you know, I've used to get, I have 100% results now. And I do a slow culture, and I'll teach you more about that. I'm going to go in depth. Sometimes I try to make these videos as short as I can, but today I really want to make sure that everyone who wants to gets this, because Facebook and Instagram is like a huge thing. Like, I can't get my yogurt to do that, but I can get my yogurt to do it. You see the bulge? Every one of these babies is right. Bulge, and I do different sizes. The bulge, I mean, these are just popping right. Every last one of these, you know, so these are all very ripe. I could open any of these. In fact, wow, maybe I should open one of the smaller ones here. I think this one right here is about ready to break through the glass. It just expands as the microorganisms eat the sugar, break down the fatty acids, and break down the proteins in the coconut meat. And it's an amazing thing. Let's see if I can do this without getting all over myself. It is a medicine for inflammation. Here it is. It's like alive. So very alive. Oh my goodness. Boom. And so watch this. And so this is what you're trying to get to. This was at one time a quarter of a teaspoon of probiotics, which is billions of microorganisms. And now it is trillions. And they've used up a lot of the sugars. They've broken down all the fatty acids, and they've broken down all the proteins. So you're getting, it's like pre-digested fat and protein. I mean, nothing on earth. I mean, a 3-month-old baby can digest this. Now, the 3-month-old baby may not do too well with this. You know, maybe a year they could start nibbling on some of this. But this right here, anybody, anywhere, any time of the day or night, that is so good. And there's no dairy, so there's no hormones, there's no suffering. It's coconuts, the most prolific, beneficial food on earth. Now, there are a couple of different types of coconuts that you can use. There are coconuts at the Mexican market, and they are like the white ones, and they'll look more similar to this. This is actually a Hawaiian coconut that I tried to make look like a young Thai coconut. And this is so good. That is so good. I had that for breakfast already. So I'm going to put this away in the fridge. She saw the demonstration. People can't get that. They don't know why it's not working. I'll tell you, it did take me years to master this process, the culturization. Lou Corona started teaching it to me 5 years ago. The first couple of years, I just couldn't get it to get anything to work. I finally got the flow down, so I'm going to try to really give it to you today. So I'm just taking my time, although I'm talking really fast, because I could teach and teach and teach forever. I love nuance, detail. I love it when people understand and they get it, and the aha. And I love it when people have been trying for months to get it to come out like that, and then finally they get it. So let's do this. Let's pretend that this is a young Thai coconut. Because like I said, you can get coconuts at a Mexican market, and they're white coconuts in the shell, and you just do this same thing, and then you get the meat out with this. Now, usually I use the machete outside, but I wanted to pretend that I went to the Asian market, or I went to Whole Foods, or I went to the co-op, and I got a case of 9 white coconuts, which will make approximately 3 or 4 full jars, because it takes anywhere from 2 to 3 coconuts to make a full jar of the yogurt, depending on the size of the coconut and the thickness of the meat. I've got these one coconuts that are humongous. I made a little Instagram post, but they each have a quart of water, and they each have enough thick meat in them. I think this is one of them. Yeah, this was one of them. It takes one coconut to make an entire jar of coconut yogurt. Oh my God, now that's very rare to find coconuts that large. But these young Thai coconuts, dang, dang, I tried to make it look like that. Pretty good job though, better than I thought it'd be, you got to admit. But this is like a Hawaiian coconut, I already said that. But now we're gonna do this. I'm really nervous because I haven't done this method in probably like 2 years. I bought a machete, I bought the climbing equipment, now I live on coconuts. Can you dig it? This is some serious business here, boy. There it is. Woo! Still sealed. Awesome. So that's a little bit, you know, the young Thai coconuts, the shell's a little thinner. This is a fairly mature coconut. Oh, I'm stoked. Okay, so now I've got the big strainer here is just to hold it, but because this one would fall right through. But I have a fine strainer here, and that way I can open this up, and I can. Oh, that is absolutely magnificent. Now this is absolutely magnificently perfect meat. You want that sweet spot somewhere in the middle. You've got the pudding meat, which is the pudding, and then you've got, this is a little bit more on the mature side, quite a bit thicker, and somewhere right in the middle, well, this is pretty much like this. So these are more mature, but a nice balance of some mature and some pudding will bring in the balance. You can't use the brown ones because that's a very mature. This is a mature young coconut. Most of the yogurt, most of the coconut meat that you'll find in the Thai coconuts is somewhere between a little more of the pudding and a little more of the medium. So I've got pudding, I've got middle, and these middle ones make the best yogurt. It's medium, it's thick, but it's still soft. This is thick and it's pretty chunky, so it takes a little more love from the blender. But eventually you'll get it. You add a little more water and you take a little more time to blend it so that it gets, because the key is to get it really smooth. Now the issue that I think a lot of people have is that their blender isn't powerful enough. I've got the Vitamix here, and so it's a real workhorse, you know, and the Blendtec is also a very good blender. So here we go, I'm gonna strain that. And there's not a lot of water in that one. That's about not even a half of a quart. So a lot of meat in this one, and normally I use my machete. I probably should have brought my machete, I might. I think we'll get it. Taking a mess. We got it. So I just wanted to give you the full on. Now, you know, for the most part, you know, if you can't do it, some people say I can't do it. Most people can do it. You get that knife, you pop, pop, pop. This is a very thick shell. And like I said, the young Thai coconuts are easier to get into. So you use this part and you just pop, pop, pop. It usually takes about 5. That'll pry right off. There's also a thing called the Cocoa Buddy, where it's a little thing that's round and you have a hammer, pop, pop. That makes it a lot easier for people who might not be as confident. You know, I've opened up thousands of these things with this method, and now many thousands with a true machete. So I'm very confident I'd get into these no matter what. These other ones are just Goliath, and I just got to whack. It's a workout, but it's nice. So I take the Coconut Buddy, and again, this takes a little bit of muscle, but not a lot, you know. They do have metal ones like I have to use the metal ones on these thick beasts, you know. Anyways, and I wanted to show you this whole process So I wanted to make sure that you got this. Okay, I'm not gonna make 20-minute yogurt videos every day, but it's very important to learn this, because this is like the way. Because I'm telling you, man, the food has got antibiotics in it from the left and the right. Did you know that glyphosate is patented as an antibiotic? And they're spraying that on 33% of the food. So if you're eating at restaurants and grocery stores and stuff, you're being exposed to this stuff. And that's cool if that's your thing. I am totally not into that at all. But I am avoiding all that. But if, to say the least, just use this medicine, use that coconut yogurt daily. And I'm going to make a bunch of more videos and more recipes with the nuts and the cultured foods and the cheeses, showing you the probiotics to make cheeses and just to get the probiotics in there. This thing lasts a year if you just use a quarter of a teaspoon, which I'll show you. So, but really what I gotta do is show you this thing. This is the secret of all secrets. Okay, here's my little peeler. We used to take the knife and use the knife. I used the knife for years, but I was cutting off way too much. And one day I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, dude, you're tripping. Dude, and I get out the peeler and it's like, oh my God, the perfect amount comes off. And it's just like, I don't know how far away, this is, if I had like a film crew or something, we would have all kinds of editing and all that stuff. But you get the general gist. It's like you just peel that and you don't lose too much, and it's way easier than a knife. And then the important thing for really good yogurt is to have completely clear, pure, angel white meat. None of the brown stuff. Maybe a little tiny bit, it's not gonna hurt. But if you want a real high level gourmet pristine yogurt, you want the white. So let's do this. I'll just save this one for later and we'll move on. Now I gotta kind of clean up this mess so I don't get a bunch of wood chips into my yogurt. And here's another thing that's also essential that I want to point out. I just did all that, like there's all these wood chips, right, and stuff. But see, I have a strainer right here to catch it all, because you do not want to get any coconut chips into your trash disposal, because then you'll be your husband or you or whoever, me. I do it. I'm the one that gets it in there. So I always make sure, I like to clean the coconuts in the sink, but I always make sure there's a little strainer there so none of those chips get down there. Because if they do, it gets, and you're like, uh-oh. Then you got to get under there, take the whole thing apart, get in there, use a screwdriver, and get the chunk out. So save yourself a lot of time and energy and don't get anything in there. So now you just cut your perfectly, white, fresh, medium thickness. And if you want to find these coconuts, you will find them at the co-op, the Asian market. Call around and find yourself some of those young Thai coconuts. I'm very blessed. I have an unlimited supply of coconuts, so I eat a lot of this. But if you are helping someone in your family to heal, or your children in your family have gut dysbiosis, or someone's got inflammation or leaky gut, or some type of esophageal reflux or acid reflux or whatever, this yogurt is it's all around very beneficial. These microorganisms go in and they coat the cracks and the crevices. It's very anti-inflammatory. And see, when I do the coconut yogurt, that's the medicine. The coconut almond yogurt, the coconut macadamia nut yogurt, the coconut pine nut, the coconut Brazil, the coconut pecan, those are more for like building. This, because the nuts have a little bit of acidity to it. And you really want, this right here is just like pure alkalinity, fluffy medicine that just coats your teeth, helps to keep your teeth healthy and your gums, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine. And it's just a daily thing. They're just transient. It's either that or go to Europe and take the poop pills. They're taking people's feces and they're purifying it and they're putting it, people with healthy microbiome, people with a healthy gut microbiome, they're taking their feces, they're drying it, extracting it. I know it sounds crazy, and then they're putting it into little pills and giving people. So take care of the microorganisms that you got. Alcohol, the chlorophyll, the chlorine, the fluoride, fried, cooked, overly cooked foods. The best foods are raw plant foods to build the health that you've got. And when you combine these yogurts with, vegetables, or, you can put this in smoothies, and I'm going to make a smoothie next, or you just make put it on your salad with a little dill, little garlic, little sea salt, little lemon. You make an amazing, creamy, cool ranch with trillions of microorganisms, and as you're eating your lettuce with some shredded carrots and some sprouts, tomatoes, cucumbers, avocados, whatever you like, that's just going to be, those are the best foods, fruits and vegetables, and combined with this is the next level. So it's just the next level. The probiotics, I've looked all over the internet looking for answers. I want to find something else other than this, but there just really isn't, except taking care of the microorganisms you got. And hopefully your mom wasn't like drinking and doing antibiotics and a lot of drugs and smoking cigarettes and stressing out, because like I said, it just keeps diminishing. And we need to get on the regenerative path for humanity and get back to the garden, go back to the garden, go back to the bare feet, as realistically as possible. But we want to be surrounded by beneficial microorganisms, and we want to eat dirty food out of the garden. I go in there and I just eat the food, and that's where I get my B12 from, the true biotics, the probiotics. And I just keep my gut so healthy. I never, ever, ever have any kind of gut problems whatsoever, no matter what. And I eat, I just don't have any problems. The green juice, the enzymes, the probiotics, the raw foods, and the food combining and the conscious eating is the next level. So I'm just really trying to make sure that y'all get this today. So let's put that one in there. So anyways, let's do this. Let's do this so we can all be straight on point. I like to take my time when it comes time to really make sure that you're getting the full picture. I don't do little soundbite videos. I can't even do it. I got too much inside of me. I could go on for hours, and I'm thinking, you're going to benefit from this. That's what I'm thinking, because I love this stuff. It's changed. I'm so healthy, so happy, so blessed, so content, so transformed, and so hungry for the next level. Because you can just keep going and going, and you can feel the power. You can feel the presence, because you're cleaning your temple. And you're saying no to all the junk that this world is trying to tantalize you with. It's like, I'm a simple man. I'm a humble man. I'm a smart man. And I'm going to follow the ways. And I'm going to use the advanced technologies. And I'm going to combine that with the ancient ways. And I'm going to live fully and truly and be so blessed with the knowledge. Can you dig it, baby? Can you dig it? So this is 2 cups. This is the recipe. 2 cups chopped coconut meat. Now, let's see what we got here. Strain this. That was 1 cup. And we're going to do 2 cups. 2 cups of water. And then we're going to just do the 1/4 teaspoon of probiotics, which I'll tell you the truth, it goes a little slower. The more you use, the faster you'll culture. I do the slow culture method. Now you'll see what that means in a minute. Let's blend this up. Now just give me a minute. real good. Medicine, life. All my food is blessed. My life is blessed. I am blessed. I am grateful for the gifts. I am grateful for the gift of life. So let that air bubble pop and hit it one more time. So we're going real. I'm going to do it for what I really do. Like if I was on a video and I will cut it short, I want to show you what it takes with this 2.0 horsepower Vitamix to get it to the smooth, creamy consistency to where you get what I showed you out of the fridge. Nice and smooth. I'm going to let that pop. I'm going to hit it one more time so it's getting nice and smooth. So you're getting a realistic version. That's good. That's real good. That's real good. Wow. And then, beautiful, baby. And this is where the spatula comes in. Trying to make too much of a mess on the counter, Danny boy. Can you dig it, baby? Can you dig it, baby? Okay, cool, man. I really appreciate the opportunity to share my love for this kind of thing, for this yogurt, which I live off of because I got free coconuts. I bought the climbing gear and ain't bought a coconut since. You know, I drink them, I eat them, I go to the beach, I live off them for days. I love it. Free food and medicine, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, what that's maybe like a quarter a teaspoon, which normally I would put more like 1 teaspoon. You know, I work for the company and I order like one of these about every 2 or 3 months, depending on how much yogurt I make or whatever. It's not the cheapest thing in the world, but dude, it's like, you can make it last a year if you go slower. This is gonna take more time than if I added more. So it's gonna take a couple more extra days than if I added more. Big deal. You know, so if you're worried about the economy, then, you know, you just use a little less and you just plan ahead. It's like, and so in about anywhere from 4 to 7 days, this will be just trying to burst. So what I do is I go like this and I get that sucker on there tight as can be. You got to use a rag, and you might have to go like this and you just tighten that sucker down on there as tight as you can, because if you don't, it'll start leaking out the top, and it'll be in the fridge and there'll be a whole big pile of it down here on the side. So you got to get that as tight as you can. Ladies, have your husband just give that thing a tight whack, whatever, no offense. Now I put that in the fridge, see, and then I'll share with you. Now, I could take that right now, go put it in the dehydrator at 95 or 110 degrees, and in about 4 to 6 hours, it'll be, again, the heat, the warmth, and the liquid is what activates these. Most everything I do is a slow culture, and the reason why I do that is because it's 100%. It never goes off. But if I do a countertop, sometimes even 6 or 8 hours later, it goes off. You know, it normally, like, you can be like, okay, tonight we're gonna have coconut almond yogurt with the avocado, basil, sea salt, lime juice, and a little clove of garlic, and you blend that up. And so this morning I'll make the yogurt, and when we get home tonight, honey, we'll have that. Well, you could, you know, sometimes 1 out of every 6 or 8 maybe, but still too much for me to lose a batch. I mean, but the slow culture, every time. Does it take 3, 4, 5, 7 days? Yeah, but what do I got in here now? The whole goddamn bottom row is full. And I'll be making more because look at all this meat that I've got, and look at all this water that I've got that I got out of this video, you know. So I'm just gonna make 2 more, probably 2 more full jars, and I just always have yogurt just rolling and flowing. We love it. We put it on bananas, mangoes. We eat it plain. You can make dressings out of it. It's really awesome. I love it. I love making this video for you. Thank you so much. Stay stoked. Just keep rocking. R-A-W-K-I-N-G, baby. Rocking.